If you guys are ready, I'm ready, guys. Bam! Here it is. It is a knife from Reich. And if you know Reich and Quechua, they do some really, really wicked stuff on the premium end of things. I mean, this looks like a knife that you would find on a treasury or treasure chest of some sort from some old pirate, right? Some many years ago. It is absolutely looking crazy. And the good news is that we also got a few different variants. We're going to be checking each of these out. First impressions here, we have a beautiful integral. It looks like titanium, of course. No pull here whatsoever. We do have a little bit of milling going on there. Obviously, we have carbon fiber inlays on the show side. It's a little bit different on the opposite side because of the frame lock. Interesting pocket clip, to say the least, with the carbide ball. A little bit of a star going on there towards the tip. That's a nice little touch. Glass breaker situation, or in some cases, an attitude adjuster going on down there. That's an interesting call, interesting decision. We'll see how that translates into ergonomics in a moment. And as far as deployment, we have a back flipper and an interesting, we'll see what we call this, sort of front flipper looking design. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and send it. Well, bam, guys, we're looking at the Viper 2. Well, there was a Viper 1 at some point. I don't think I got a chance to check that one out. But this is the Viper 2, and wow, check out the geometry on this blade. That is crazy. We have M390 steel. These are serialized. I'm not even sure what number that is. It's all printed in italics. If I had to guess, number 263. And obviously what takes the cake here is the dual hollow ground. So it's not sharp on this side, right? You can see the blade thickness. So it's not sharp at all here, but it has an opposing hollow ground going up. And of course, the hollow grind going down. It gets very thin behind the edge, and it is going to be a drop point here with some good belly towards the front. I mean, that is an elegant looking knife through and through. Check that out. It almost looks like it belongs in a museum. Like I said, like a piece of ancient history you found from an Egyptian tomb or something. Crazy, absolutely wild looking geometry, to say the least. It is a frame lock, steel insert for steel on steel contact. Lockup there is about maybe 15–20% or so. We don't have access here from the show side per se, or a cutout, but it's nice and spread wide enough we can just push down into the left without any issues. On the drop, a little bit of a shake shutter on the drop. Back flipper works really good. We got plenty of jimping there for days. That also translates into jimping here whenever you grip the knife. I mean, in case I haven't already said this, to say that this has a very unique shape will be a massive understatement. That's just kind of the DNA with the Reich knife and Quechua knives. I want to say it feels good here, locking up with a thumb behind this. Kind of works like a finger guard in a way. You got jimping on both sides. This will feel kind of weird. I guess if you want to forward choke, you would do that on both ends, both with your index finger and your thumb, but you're also very close to the cutting path, so I'm not sure how I would do that. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're being very intentional and careful with what you're doing. Yeah, what a wild looking piece. Again, it is an integral milled out of one single piece of titanium. This one does not have a party trick where you remove the little shell or what have you. This is one solid piece of titanium with very thin carbon fiber inlays. I like the little accent, little gold going on here with the sort of shredded carbon fiber. We got this other one here, M390 as well, of course. Same geometry, same model. This one's going to have carbon fiber with a little bit, few more colors. We got some red, we got some yellow. Right? Definitely looking quite different. Indeed, the actual titanium. So you can get a darker titanium, and it's nice how they contrast this area here towards the pivot. Right? You get a bead blasted and then a darker gray again, and then the logo. Here they go the opposite way. So this is going to be kind of like a bead blasted natural finished titanium. Then you get a darker titanium ring, and then back to a light gray ring, and then the Reich logo. So very interesting how those pivots contrast each other for sure. So that's a attention to detail there, no doubt about it. This one's going to be number 179, it looks like, if I can read the italicized calligraphy correctly. And by the way, I'm getting a chance to check these out courtesy of Ray from Everyday City Carry. That's my boy. Check him out. Give him a sub if you aren't already. I know he's working very closely with Quechua and Reich these days. And these came via the Quechua Reich knife pass around. Another bit of detail here is the stress relief cutout is on the inside. So you got a nice, clean, flat lock bar side without any issues. The stress relief is on the inside. I much prefer this approach than having the stress relief cutout on the outside. That's just me, but either way, you know, I'm fine with it being done either way on a knife. If I really like the knife, I really don't discriminate or anything. But if it were my design, right, I would absolutely go with this approach without a doubt. All right, so we got these two, and it's funny because they have more or less the same sort of carbon fiber looking inlays. I'll just show you here, right? Same sort of shorter carbon fiber with green accents. I wonder if these glow in the dark. We'll test that out and see if they do or don't. You'll see an overlay here on whether that's the case or not. But this one has the Be Blasted titanium, like a lighter color. This one has a darker titanium finish. And you can see kind of the contrast here towards the pivot that I was talking about, right? The opposing colors, right? They're like a exact negative replica of each other. So that's an interesting bit of detail there. I want to say as far as ergos with this whole, you know, glass breaker situation in the back, I was afraid it was going to maybe stab me in the palm, but no, you have to go out of your way to do that because this thing is way down here. Kind of feels like a wasp little sting, if you would, in a way. But yeah, that's way down there. The integral handle is very comfortable, nice and contour, nice and rounded. That feels good. Pocket clip, I feel it a tad bit. I'm going to go 8.5 out of 10. But yeah, able to get a full 4-finger grip. And again, I would only recommend forward choking if you are aware and intentional about what you're doing. Now, this is funny, right? I was joking around because, in a way, you could deploy this knife like that. Use your thumb with your nail and then just kind of like flip it forward like that. What do we call that deployment method? You guys give me your best guesses in the comments. So we got a back flipper, and then we got the sort of thumb deployment forward sort of flipper. So let's come up with a name for that, right? If you guys already know of one, or just get creative, right? Think of something funny. What are we going to call this? You'll let me know. I mean, it definitely scratches your nail a little bit. Not that that's a big deal, but at least two deployment options, one more interesting than the other, for sure here with the Viper 2 from Reich Knives. Always interesting and always exciting to check their premium knives because they absolutely do some very, very unique stuff.